local high school students are dabbing their hands into politics. They want to express their right to vote, and they're not even 18 yet, but they're trying to change all of that. Amanda Burden's in Boca Raton with more.
They're sophomores here at St. Andrew's School in Boca Raton. They're 14 and 15 years old, but they say they don't want to wait another 3 or 4 years to cast their ballot. The students started the newest chapter of the National Youth Rights Association. Their goal to lower the legal voting age from 18 to 16 years old. Since the law allows them to work and pay taxes at age 16, they say they should be able to vote at 16. So the students believe voting at a younger age will encourage youth to become lifelong voters. They also say the age 18 is the worst time to begin casting the ballot. That's when many people are preoccupied with moving to college, getting a job, or joining the armed forces. They say the law as it stands is youth discrimination.
Well, ultimately, we realize the injustice evident in the 18-year-old voting age because politicians' decisions are going to affect youth much longer than they will adults, especially environmental decisions and things like that, and yet they have no voice in deciding on those laws. Also, youth pay over $10 billion in sales tax alone every year, yet they have no voice in that, and that can't be classified as anything else but taxation without representation.
The group intends to work with state senators and representatives to pass legislation that would make Florida the first state in the country that allows 16-year-olds to vote. Now, if you'd like to get involved, you can contact the chapter's president. His name is Jeffrey Nadel. You can reach him at jeff@16tovote.org. In Boca Raton, Amanda Burden, WPBF News 25.
We'll be right back. A group of local school students want their voices heard in presidential politics.
Politicians' decisions are going to affect youth much longer than they will adults.
How they're lobbying to lower the state's voting age. Some local high school sophomores say they want a say in the upcoming presidential election. Only one problem. They're not 18. But as Amanda Burden explains, they're trying to lower Florida's voting age. Amanda.
Angela, National Youth Rights Association has been around for years. Some local students just started a Southeast Florida chapter. With the help of state lawmakers, they're hoping Florida will be the first state where a 16-year-old can vote.
Yeah, so they're going to feel more comfortable voting.
Politicians' decisions are going to affect youth much longer than they will adults.
That's just one of the reasons Jeffrey Nadel and a couple of classmates want to make history and lower the legal voting age from 18 to 16.
Youth pay over $10 billion in sales tax alone every year, yet they have no voice in that, and that can't be classified as anything else but taxation without representation.
The sophomores from Boca Raton's St. Andrew's School say 16 and 17-year-olds are actually better equipped to cast their ballots.
16-year-olds are stationary as opposed to 18-year-olds who move to college and move to other places, so local issues specifically can affect them more.
In courts, many times youth are tried as adults, and so if courts can consider us adults, why can't we be considered adults to vote?
In 1965, there was a Voting Act rights passed that said anyone who's completed the 6th grade has a knowledge and comprehension to be able to vote. So we feel that if you're 16, you're a lot older than being past 6th grade, so you should be able to vote.
And like any good or bad habit, the earlier you start, the more likely you are to become hooked.
I don't think it has anything to do with a partisan issue, but I do think that the voting turnout will increase significantly because people will get into it at a young age, and then they'll certainly continue voting from that point on.
I think at 16 you gain your own self-independence, and you don't have to, you don't believe what your parents believe all the time, you don't believe what your teachers believe all the time, so that's why I think 16 should be the age.
The students plan to appeal to state senators and representatives for help, and they're seeking more members. If you'd like to get involved, email Jeffrey Nadel, the local chapter president. That address is jeff@16tovote.org. Amanda Burden, WPBF News.